Hey listeners, well, leading can feel like you're treading water, barely keeping up with everything coming your way. And in this episode today, I'm going to share with you how to keep your head above water while leading with purpose so you can recharge, refocus, and bring the best to those who depend on you as a leader. Let's discuss.
Welcome to Leadership is Changing. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change. This is taking your leadership to another level by finding the balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing with your host, Denis Gianoutsos.
Hey, welcome to the Ask Dennis episode. This is a freestyle episode where I'm asked a question by our listeners, or I share my thoughts, experiences, and insights from working with many leaders around the globe. Well, welcome to another episode of the Ask Dennis series on the Leadership is Changing podcast. And I want to dive into something that's crucial for all of us, especially those of you leading at the front lines or large organizations or an entrepreneur in their own business. In fact, it's all about constantly giving your all to everybody. This week, I posted a quote on social media that struck a chord with many. And the actual post or the quote was, "Give yourself permission to take time out." Well, listeners, as I record this, I'm actually on vacation in Asia. I've taken my own advice and stepping away from the day-to-day hustle to recharge, refocus, and relaunch. It's been a wonderful experience so far, and it's reminded me of something that I want to share with you. You know, I've been spending a lot of my time here on holiday or on vacation swimming. In fact, 3 times a day, I'm in the pool, just really enjoying the water. For me, for some reason, the water really recharges me and energizes me. And I can't help about, when I'm in the water, I can't help think about leaders and how it may relate to what many leaders are experiencing today. Many leaders are out there, they feel like they're treading water, just barely keeping themselves afloat amidst the pressures, the deadlines, and expectations. Some of you listening may even feel worse than that. You may feel like your head is underwater. You're struggling to breathe. You're trying to keep up with it all. The demands on your time, the expectations to perform, and the weight of leading others can feel overwhelming. That's why in today's episode, I want to talk to you about the importance of getting your head above the water, about finding a way to manage all the demands that are on you as a leader. So you can come up for air, you can reset, and you can actually really thrive as a leader. One area I want to talk about is actually giving yourself permission. Giving yourself permission to take time out, as I said in that quote, it's more than just a good idea. It's actually really a necessary thing to happen for effective leadership. We often think that by stepping away, that we're actually going to fall behind. We're going to miss the deadlines. We're not going to be able to cope. When I come back, my inbox is going to be full of emails. How am I actually going to cope? So I don't know if I can take time out. But the truth is, taking time out is the very thing that enables us to stay ahead. And by allowing yourself to take that time, you're giving yourself a chance to recharge your energy, refocus your mind, and prepare yourself to re-engage with clarity. And as I said before, a whole lot of renewed energy. And if we're constantly feeling like we're underwater, well, then we can't see the big picture. And it's impossible to make the best decisions when we are feeling overwhelmed. So what about going from treading water to swimming with purpose? Swimming here on my holidays has given me that reminder, as I said before, that treading water keeps you from sinking, but it doesn't move you forward. And many leaders are in survival mode and just doing enough to keep everything going. And if that's where you find yourself, well, it's time for you to ask yourself, how can I move beyond just staying afloat? How can I swim with purpose instead of simply treading water? One way to do this is to evaluate where your time and energy are being spent. Are you focusing on things that truly matter, or are you taking on too much? Sometimes the reason we feel overwhelmed is because we're trying to do everything ourselves. In fact, what I talk about is you're trying to be everything to everybody. See, delegation and setting boundaries are key to swimming forward with purpose. Leaders aren't meant to do it all. You're meant to empower others and focus on what only they can do, right? So that's the thing here for leaders is you're not meant to do it all. You're meant to empower others, but then focus on what you can do. The other thing I was going to say to you is that there's another aspect that I really want to share with you, and it's about creating moments to breathe. Some leaders actually forget to breathe, and this might be you. You may be this leader who forgets to breathe. Leaders need breathing spaces, whether it's a morning routine that sort of helps you ground yourself or recenter yourself, a quiet walk to actually help possibly clear your mind, or a vacation like the one I'm on right now. And these moments are non-negotiable because they give us the opportunity to reflect. They give us those opportunities to reevaluate and then realign. Think of it as catching your breath between laps in the pool. If you never pause, what's going to happen is you're going to burn out. But if you take deliberate breaks, you'll have the strength to swim even further. The other area I want to talk about is actually handling demands with clarity. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, it's also critical to remember that you have a choice in actually how you respond. The thing here is we talk about our attitude and the way we respond to things, and it's important. So if you can take a moment to step back and think and prioritize, not everything demands your immediate attention, right? Even if it feels like it does, it doesn't. So what's the good thing for you to do is to start identifying the top 3 things that truly need your attention today and give those your focus. When we try to handle everything, we end up losing our effectiveness. But by focusing on the essentials, we maintain our ability to lead with clarity and purpose. Remember, leadership is not about constantly staying in motion. It's about making sure your actions are deliberate, focused, and impactful. And that requires stepping back from time to time. You may have seen a quote out there, or some of the sayings whereby that sometimes we need to go slower to go faster, right? So you may need to slow down to speed up. And that's what we're talking about here in particular. Look, listeners, as I enjoy my time here in Asia, taking time out to swim and reflect and be around family, I want to encourage each of you to find your way to come up for air. Give yourself permission to recharge and refocus and relaunch. You know what? You'll be a better leader for it. And more importantly, you'll be able to lead others with a renewed focus, strength, and clear vision. So listeners, keep leading with purpose. Take those moments for yourself. And remember, leadership is a journey. And sometimes the best thing you can do is take a break to become even stronger for the next chapter, the next journey, the next level that you may have in your business, in your teams, in your leadership, and in your career. All right, your call to action this week is there's 2 of them actually. One is, I'd love you to go into your calendar and book some time. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 days. I'm talking about maybe a week or whatever. But you know what? It's whatever is right for you. I love you to book a vacation, some time out for you to recharge and reflect, refocus, and so forth. So go and find some time in your calendar and go ahead and book that in your calendar. The second call to action is to download the 10 proven ways to lead and thrive in today's world. And if you're wanting to do that, to download it, what do you need to do? In the show notes, you'll be able to go to the link and click on the link in the show notes and go straight to it. Just put in your email and your name. And what I'll do is I'll ship that out to you as soon as I can. Hey, listeners, that's it for this episode. It is always a pleasure being with you. Thanks for joining me on the Leadership is Changing podcast. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Leadership is Changing with your host, Denis Gianoutsos. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change, inspiring executives and leaders to adapt and lead a bigger game in a fast-moving world.